Hey there growers, I'm Dylan from Monster Gardens, and today we're going to show you how to mix a stock tank. Over the past few years, I have been asked how to mix a stock tank countless times. Today, we've been touring Cutting Edge's new facility in Southern Oregon, and we're gonna be using Cutting Edge's new lauter powder that just came on the market a few months ago because it's so much more easy across the board. It's 5 pounds to 5 gallons. You can even go down 1 pound to 1 gallon. It's simple, straightforward, but always make sure to check your nutrient company that you're using when mixing solubles for a stock tank. Always make sure to check their application rates because they will probably be different. It's a mixture of 1 pound to 1 gallon. And so that way, if you're gonna be using a doser like the one behind me, you're gonna be doing 1 pound to 1 gallon all the way up and then mixing that, or dosing it rather, at a ratio of 1 to 100. Now, if you're at the commercial level and you're still using liquid nutrients, you can pre-mix this and have it sitting on your shelves, but at that point, you'll be mixing it into your feed or into your reservoir at 37.85 milliliters per gallon. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm talking all about commercial, but if you're a home grower, you can definitely still use this product. You can use it just the way I mentioned, 1 pound to 1 gallon. You mix it into a little gallon jug or a 5-gallon jug, and from there, you have a concentrated liquid nutrient. You'll be feeding that into your reservoir at 37.85 milliliters per gallon. You can even just do the 4.5 grams per gallon all the way up. Just make sure if you're gonna do that, have a little beaker set by. So if you're using a 55-gallon drum, even a 5-gallon bucket, anything like that, put your allotted amount into your beaker, get some water into it, whether it's hot or cold, and make sure to pre-mix it before putting it into your reservoir. Just like when you're doing a commercial level, you're always gonna wanna make sure it's completely mixed. We like to use either a paint mixer, and also you'll notice that this is a plastic paint mixer. Reason being is I've noticed that the metal paint mixers can actually, if you ding the sides of the bucket, you can actually get plastic and kind of chop up the insides of the bucket. Nobody wants that, especially if you're using a drip emitter. It's gonna get clogged, it's just gonna get messy. So we like to use this for if you're using a 5-gallon or anything above, but if you're using a very large, like a drum mixing tank, or a stock tank rather, you're gonna wanna use, it's like a 1/2 horsepower drum mixer, I guess you would call it. And since we are going from soluble to liquid, soluble to concentrate, like I said, please make sure to mix this as thoroughly as possible. That's why we like to use a paint mixer or use a drum mixer, because I mean, once you mix this thoroughly, you don't really have to worry about it falling out of solution. This product especially is incredibly stable, and I haven't had any issues with any of my clients of it falling out of solution in the past. I hate that freaking eek in the background. Now, I know I said it already, but the ease of use with this product is just amazing. And if you've used Cutting Edge in the past for their liquid nutrients like I have, you'll know that they have a 3-part: grow, micro, and bloom. What they've done is to try to take this down and make it more ease of use. So you're gonna have your grow A, your grow B, your bloom A, and your bloom B. Now, when you're mixing a stock tank, you're going to just be mixing grow A into your vessel to put onto your doser. If you're mixing for a reservoir and you want to do a liquid concentrate, you're still going to be mixing the grow A into your bucket, or if you have something that has a spigot like a 2.5 to make it ease of use on a rack, you're still going to be doing that, but point being, you're going to want to keep them separate. Your grow A in one, your grow B in one. And always remember to use the A before using anything else. So if you're in bloom, use the bloom A in your stock tank first. If you're in bloom and you're using a reservoir, use the bloom A first, likewise with the grow A. We also want to remind you that whenever you're going from a soluble to a liquid, whether it be for a stock tank or for just a liquid concentrate and you're going to be using it in a reservoir, always make sure to wear your PPE, which is your personal protective equipment. This includes some gloves, safety glasses or goggles, and a nice respirator. Always make sure that this is fit snug on your face. and make sure to clear it as well beforehand. This way you have a tight seal all the way around and there's no particulate that gets into your mouth or into your nasal passages. And from here, you're always going to make sure to remember these are your base nutrients. These are cutting edge base nutrients. So keep your Grow A in your Grow A bucket. Keep your Grow B in your Grow B bucket. You're not going to be mixing them together unless you're mixing them in res, and then you're still going to do it one at a time. Wait for it to fully mix into your reservoir and then move on to the next nutrient that you're putting into there. So now that we've talked all about that, let's mix the stock tank. But remember to put on your PPE. Now it's really cold up here in Southern Oregon, so this may take a quick minute. It's the awkward part that they don't show you on camera. Gonna be so happy. So this dosing rack may look a little bit different from yours simply because we're at Cutting Edge Solutions and they were nice enough to let us use their Dose-a-Tron testing system for their nutrients, but it's not going to be too far off. Reason being is most dosing racks are pretty expensive, and if you're operating even at a high level, you may be using the same doser for your veg cycle as you would be for your bloom cycle. So for today's purposes, we're just going to be talking about Bloom A and Bloom B in your dosing rack. You may notice that we have other dosers on here. We've got the Bulletproof SI and the mixing vessel. Reason for that is you're always going to want to thoroughly mix whatever pH adjuster you're utilizing before starting to go into your micro. And once you get your micro in, then you want it thoroughly mixed before you start adding in any of your other additives. But since louder powder is a 2-part and not a 3-part, your A is going to be your micro. So always make sure when using louder powder to put in your Grow A first, or if you're in flower, you're going to be using your Bloom A first. But like I said, today is just about Bloom A and B for louder powder. So let's get these all turned on. So Bulletproof SI is off, the Grow A is off, Bloom A is on, Grow B is off, Bloom B is on, and the Uncle John's blend and the Sugary are both off. So it's as simple as this. Turn those on, and you'll start hearing this little click. And what that is it's dosing at a certain rate that we have made it dose at. So for the concentrated nutrients that we're using today, you're going to be using a 1:100 ratio. But if you're in later ends of flower, if you're in the later part of flower for your crop, you can pump up your Bloom B to a ratio of 1:78 to get them a little bit more vigor, to get them a little bit more of a higher terpene content. It's just going to have your plants just flourish as much as possible towards the end of their cycle. So I mean, as you can see, we've been running this for a quick minute, and I mean, just with the Bloom A and the Bloom B, we're getting an EC of 2.2 and a pH of 5.8. We're not running any additives, we're not having a pH adjuster. It's phenomenal across the board. But, you know, as all of you I'm sure will know, every strain is specific. So when I mentioned earlier about dialing up the Bloom B to 1:78 ratio as opposed to the 1:100 ratio, this is all going to be strain dependent. And the cool thing about that is There are so many additives that you can use from Cutting Edge that will be able to tailor to your strain's specific needs, whether it's increasing the terpene profile, increasing the yield overall, increasing even the metabolism just to actually eat and get a better dry back if you're doing rock wool, or if you're in a full crop steering commercial garden. It's there are so many options that they give you while still making it completely ease of use. Well, everybody, I'm Dylan from Monster Gardens. We'll see you next time. I'm gonna redo the whole thing now. Hey there, growers. I'm Dylan. God damn it. This is going to include some gloves, some safety glasses or goggles, and a reservoir. A reservoir.